The visit, I see the visit as not only an important visit and good for the Iraqi-U.S. bilateral relationship, but I see the visit as being an imperative. By that I mean it must happen, and it must be substantial for it to be valuable both for the U.S. and for Iraq. So I'm very I'm very pleased to see that this visit is scheduled, and there's a lot of important issues to talk about. Well, first of all, with respect to the letter, I saw the letter, and I think overall the issues captured within the letter aren't necessarily, I don't think they're very accurate, and the advice I didn't consider as very useful advice. Um, as I mentioned, the visit must take place. The two top issues on the visit with the president and Sudani are the U.S.-Iraq bilateral relationship. But in order for that to work, the Erbil-Baghdad relationship um, absolutely has to move forward. And the way I see that relationship is that it needs to shift from the current atmosphere of animosity from Baghdad and from the coalition framework towards Erbil. It needs to shift from animosity to actual cooperation, positive cooperation. That's the only way to move forward, along with a number of other steps that need to be taken. But first of all, the attitude has to change, and secondly, a stronger relationship between Erbil and Baghdad, and a stronger Kurdistan with regard to security and economics um, can only be a benefit for the rest of federal Iraq. So that has to move forward. There's no question about it. Yeah, those two issues absolutely must be addressed. And there are some fundamentals behind each issue which cannot be ignored, which need to be fixed, and some issues which have existed far too long that have been unresolved. For example, the 2005 Iraqi Constitution, revenue sharing and hydrocarbons management and hydrocarbons law are major parts of the Constitution, but those have never been resolved. And there's no reason why they haven't been resolved other than one group or another wishing not to move forward with those. And essentially that's coming out of Baghdad. Erbil has always been clear, and I've communicated with leaders in Erbil on a number of occasions, that especially those two parts of the Constitution, along with resolving Kirkuk and disputed boundaries, have to be addressed. There's no question they have to be addressed. In fact, when Prime Minister Barzani was out here, as I'm sure you know, he had a meeting with Senator Nancy Pelosi. And the main message from that meeting is the same message that I've carried since for the last 18 years, is that the message from Prime Minister Barzani was Iraq must abide by the Iraqi Constitution. And the Constitution will have an effect on so many areas, in particular on hydrocarbons and on the budget. So that needs to get done. There's no excuse for delay.